All right, let's continue our chat about the article feeder functionality, because here's going to be the question now. If we're going to put, first of all, we're going to put all the pages on one website, so we're going to orient this whole thing going sideways, which is cool. But before we do it, we have to deal with the rest of the columns that apply to this page. As you can see, that's A through J apply to this page 1, because we have to have stuff for all the pieces of a page. And there just are this many pieces to a page, any page. There are this many things to consider. So, okay, the title's got to be something. But do you know what? Since we're going to hide the pages in the menu, we don't really have to worry too much about the title. So I'm going to cheat. They have to have unique names or else it doesn't make sense. But I can cheat because, again, the title's only going to make any sense if it's showing up in the menu. The rest of it is the browser title and the meta description, if you see what I mean, right? So with that in mind, I'm going to just call this home 1. Sorry about that. Actually, make sure I'm in the right spot, yeah, because 3 is home and 4 is home 1, right? Yeah, so now what that means is this. Let me just keep dragging that down. It'll make home 2, home 3, 4, 5, 6 automatically, right? There we go. So home 59 plus the original one, right? Now, what about this? The URL. Okay, I'm going to play with that a bit and get that the way I want. Parent page, show sidebar. Parent page will always be 0 because there will not be a parent page. They're all going to be in the root of the project. They're all going to be in the same root. So that'll always be 0. Show sidebar, it's always going to be 1, unless I don't want it to be. Like I could have the pages some yes, some no. It's up to me. Okay, I'm going to make them the same just so you get this idea. I'm going to copy this. Here's going to be the problem. If I just try to pull this down, then it can work with 0 just fine, right? It's going to keep doing zeros. But it won't keep doing 1s because it'll think I'm trying to number off. 1, 2, 3. Oh, maybe it will do 1s. Okay, if it does, great. All right, it does. All right. If it was going to number off, I just make sure to copy it and paste it in here to have 2 number 1s. That way I can highlight both. That way if I go dragging that down, then it'll understand to maintain the same numbering. So you just keep it 1s, right? Okay, modules. It just shows 2 commas. What's that mean? That means there are no modules. There's no module 1, 2, or 3, 1, 2, 3. There's just none that are turned on. There's no contact us module or testimonials module. So that can just get dragged down the way it is, Pshum, and that's going to look the same. Okay. All right. Now, meta keywords is a blank. Okay. So that, you can drag a blank down, but it'll stay a blank. So you got browser title and meta description and the URL, right? And hide in menu. Let's deal with that right now. That should be a 1. Okay. Now, let's see. Yeah, it stays 1. Excellent. Because I want to hide it in the menu, remember? Yeah. So I want that hidden in the menu. Okay. Yeah, good. All right. So I've got 1, 2, 3 things left. Now, how am I going to deal with that? URL is index. Okay, what do I want these URLs to be? Well, I want them to kind of match what the page is about, like chiropractor in Atlanta kind of thing, right? Save it so far. I want to save my work so far. So let me show you how I plan to do that. Okay. Let me go back over the other file anyway, because this is where I got everything right now. Okay, let's think about this. Okay, this is, and here I can actually do it like this. Let me just sort of copy this, put it into a new tab. You never see how to put new tabs in. It's really easy, right? Rename the tab. All right, page, titles, right? That way I just know what it's about. And again, I can move this wherever I want and then just delete it if I feel like it. Okay. Now, I don't need the header for this. Delete. And since the first page is really the index page, because that's what I did, I overwrote my index page, right? So I only got like 59 more. I just got to keep that in mind. First one, I don't want to overwrite the URL here because I want it to stay indexed, right? That's the main page of any website. Make sure it stays there. But then after that, it needs to start with this one, best chiropractor in Atlanta, which is number 2 from my list. Okay. So let's go figure it out. There it is, chiropractor in Atlanta. So with that in mind, I'm going to drop this first one because I'm not going to use it after all. It's index page, but I got to come up with names for these things, right? So watch how I'm going to do this. I'm just going to figure something out I can use for names. I'm going to say, in this case, okay, I want these all to be lowercase. T2HA, format sheet, all lowercase. Wow. Because URLs should be lowercase, right? They're supposed to be lowercase. So I'm just going to say this equals, okay, and it's going to equal what? It's going to equal something like Forever Green Atlanta Chiropractor, Atlanta Chiropractor Forever Green. I want to use all 3 to make sure that the page names stay really unique. So I'm going to go with GeoTarget first. This is just preference. And then I'm going to put a dash. So I'm going to put an ampersand, okay, because I'm going to say B1 and I'm going to put a dash in double quotes because that's what I need to do. Then I need to go and again. It's going to be A1 in this case. And another dash. Okay. And, C1. Okay. Seems kind of technical, but it's really just sort of like playing hopscotch. It's kind of easy, really. Here's the point. Got a really cool name now for my page. And it's unique. If I grab the little square box here in the corner and drag, look at that. All of them. Awesome, isn't it? It's all cool. So I got all my names. I'm going to copy. Okay, now here's the thing. For those who don't know, these look like the information, but it's not. See, it's all just really formulas. So it's an illusion that you're seeing the right result. You're not seeing the right result because it's a formula. Until we say change it from the result of the formula to actual text. So watch this. I'm going to copy the whole column. Then I'm going to paste it as text instead of the way it is now. I'm going to paste it values. 1, 2, 3, that's values right there. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Now watch. Okay. See? Now it's exactly what it's supposed to be. Now the final thing. We're talking about URLs. They should not have spaces in them. But you got spaces here like San Diego, San Antonio. That's spaces. So here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to highlight this whole thing. And I'm going to do a replace statement. So Control H for replace. Every space, okay, just make sure it's 1, with a dash. Place all. Boom. There. No more spaces. So now this is perfect. Starting with Atlanta and going to the end. Awesome. Watch this. I'm going to do it. Right here. Starting with that. Atlanta and going through to the end. Oh, that's right. I can't do it unless I do it the right way. Okay. Here's what I mean. If I try to copy the whole column all the way, then it's counting every single row to the bottom of Excel, and that's not right. I just need these. Copy. Because then it can't paste it 2 cells down, or it's the whole thing plus 2 more cells that don't exist in Excel, right? So let me try that again. All right. I can do some dummy checks. I got to paste it in. Let me spread this out so we can see it better. There. Now I can do some dummy checks. Atlanta, chiropractor, Forever Green. Yeah. Detroit, Chiro iTherm. That's Detroit, Chiro iTherm. And it's all going to end with .html anyway. That's already assumed, right? .html is the last piece. Wow, we're getting close now, huh? So we've got all this stuff. So far, what do we need? Browser title, meta description, and we're done. You know what? We could even just stick with kind of the same meta description as long as the browser title is different in each case, if we really want. Okay. Now, browser title and URL are really similar. So let me show you some really nifty ways of pulling this off. Okay, I'm going to leave that one alone, except that it may as well say something better, right? There we go. Copy. Control V. There. Now what? Starting here. Okay. Watch this. I'm going to take all of those. Okay. I can even go down, Control C, further, as long as I get them all. And starting here, paste. Okay. Just make sure they all lined up right. You know, and they did. Because San Antonio, San Antonio, San Diego is San Diego. Okay, fine. Now, I'm going to highlight, click off of this. It's still highlighted over there, so there, I get off. Now, right here, in this column, I'm going to do some things. One is this, format sheet, all proper case. There, it changed every first letter to a capital letter. It looks better. And then the final piece, every dash gets pulled out. Because this is a browser title. This is just how you want it to look in Google results and stuff. So we don't want dashes there. Control H. So we're going to take those dashes out this time. No, it's not about the space. It's about dash gets converted to a space, replace all. Boom. Get it? Much better. Okay. Looks way better now. Okay. Now, the only other thing I had to do was meta description. What do you think I might do with that? The same kind of var sheet work, right? I just sort of make that my new seed article, except that doesn't need this. It just needs to be something else. But let me just go ahead and say something else, right? Natural solutions to common health problems in order to motivate you. Right. We have natural solutions to common health. Remember, so maintain your own health. All right, Control Z. All right, boom. All right, I'll just say we, have natural solutions coming out to motivate you to take a more active and responsible role in maintaining your health, in restoring your health even. Let's just make it a little shorter because it's kind of long. Restoring your health. And then I could put a colon to mean keep reading, you know? And then instead of in order to motivate you, I'll just say to motivate you. Save some words. Health problems, comma, to motivate you to take an active role. Again, I'm just shortening it. An active role, or take a responsible role. I could make it a active role, but I'm just going a responsible role in restoring your health. Okay, I think that's cool. So I just want to copy that exactly the way it is, and I'm just going to bring it down. I'm kind of cheating at this point, only because you get it, right? I could go back and do more seed article stuff and put in var1, var2 stuff from here, and there you go, okay? But there you go. I've got a title that works with the meta description. I got a different title for this page that works with the same meta description. Another title that works with the meta description. By the way, every case where it says I space therm, that's where I want to change it back. Control C, Control H, Control V. Every case of I space therm, anywhere in this entire sheet actually. Otherwise, I just do this column. I'll do the column for just teaching you to be careful. I'm going to replace it back. Okay. Wow. Get it? There. That just looks best. Okay. It just looks best. All right. Now, here's the final point, and this is the fun part. We just got done creating all these pages going all the way down, and we made sure they said hide them in the menu except for the first page, right? You don't want to hide the index page from the menu. That doesn't make any sense. It's the main page of the site. Okay, so we don't want to do that. Anyway, here's what we want to do. We want to get all these pages that we just created to go sideways in row 3 instead of down, right? Because they all belong in the same thing, the same root, the same section of the same website. Okay? We do it with this button here. Okay? And it'll convert all extra entries going down sideways. Even extra entries going down over here for other pages. It'll know to make them all pages in the same row. First thing I want to do before I do that though is look to see if I have any empty pages to take out. Sometimes there's like page 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and it's empty. So you want to delete it. That's the first thing. If you have empty ones, right, delete them. Okay? Because there's no point in having 5 or 6 empty pages here. That wouldn't make any sense. Because when the system goes copying all that stuff up, it just picks up wherever all this stuff ended, right? It would pick up with the first blank. So make sure you get rid of those or you're going to have problems, right? Make sure you get rid of those first. Now what? Now we can do it. Website Expander. And there, it's done. All we have left over are these thick lines that we can get rid of from 4 through, 60 odd, right? Delete. All that stuff's done. Let's come up here now and take a look. And look at that. All the pages. Everything about the pages. See how I cheated? Home 38, home 39. I could have a title, but what difference does it make? Because we're hiding in the menu. Hiding in the menu. But then we got our URLs. San Diego, Cairo, iTherm. San Antonio Chiropractic Center, Power Strips. Chicago Family Chiropractic Center, Forever Green. Right? Then we got our content. All the cool content. Find the best Cairo and San Diego. Blah, 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 blah. That's all the content for the page, right? No modules. Here's the cool browser title for Google to see. And the cool meta description for Google to see. Nothing for meta keywords because Google doesn't care about meta keywords. Okay? No need for meta keywords. All right? But the rest of it is all intact. It's all ready. We just created, a 64-page website, okay, with meaning a page for everything we're interested in. And we did it easily. You could have created a 640-page website just as easily. It would have only taken a few more seconds, really, if you had the list to paste into place, right? Really, it's not a big deal anymore. So this replaces the need for Moji on a website. Okay, this is easier than using Moji separately, and it's more exacting than using Moji separately. That's the point about this. Okay. Okay, now if you think ahead of yourself, sure, you can do this with anything you want. You can, create variations of sidebar widgets if you want. If you have things you can plug and play, like social media links and stuff, Facebook, Twitter, and you're thinking of accounts, same with global variables. You can paste in columns that are constant for different values for the website title, different values for the company name, different values for the phone number and the fax number, if fax applies, and so on. You can just decide to deal with all that stuff however you want. Okay. Somebody would say, what do you do if one of these is not, if you just don't want to use it? First of all, it doesn't matter. Leave it alone. Or write over it. Just create new things for it and use those new things in your information like your pages. You can do it. You can put the global variables in here if you want. You can put the global variables in here if you want. You can put the global variables in here if you want. It'll work. So it's okay. All right. So all your stuff can be made to work. Okay. All right. And by the way, I know I was using that feed form I downloaded. Sorry I was mixing and matching if that's confusing. I was using a locksmith feed form instead of the Gilson Cairo feed form for doing this project. Don't ask me why I mixed and matched them. Sort of an accident. So that's why that's kind of weird. Like when you look at the information on some of these, like if you look at the general settings or something, it seems to be talking about, whoops, theme options, things like locksmith stuff, right? Rekeying service and security locks and everything. I was looking at that first, but then I wound up doing stuff for, chiropractor on it. What I would normally do, of course, is use the theme or the feed form for that chiropractor website to do the chiropractor work. So don't think that there's like some kind of a master feed file here that you have to always work with. No, of course not. Download the feed file you want from the website you want and work with it in that way. Okay, I believe that covers everything right now for that particular article feeder feature as well as the website expander. Okay, so that tells you what you need to know for that. Okay.